Hey, AP Macro students. Checking in today. I am in the guest room, quarantined. I've got my handy dandy nurse sleeping, occasionally barking at random noises. Um, and I wanted to go over a couple of things about the circular flow model before we move on into today's lecture, which was previously recorded during quarantine. So that's all good. Anyway, um, one of those things being leakages and the other thing being an injection. So turn to your circular flow notes from yesterday if you haven't already. So you know between it's the flow of money, resources, and goods and services, and how they flow through the two markets, through the resource market and through the product market. The resource market could also be called the factor market. So, resource factor market, whatever, or the product market. So, like if you were buying a good or a service from a business, you give them money, they give you that good or that service, and that is an exchange in the product market. But if you work for a company, you're giving them your labor, they're giving you money, and that exchange is either called a factor market because it's a factor of production, labor, or it's called a resource market because remember, factors of production are resources. So it's one and the same. Anyway, so the two things that I wanted to add to that was this concept of a leakage and a concept of an injection. So a leakage is when money leaks out of our circular flow model. So maybe it's money that you earn that's like in the resource market when you work for a company, it's money that you earn in your paycheck, but you're not essentially spending it in the product market. Like it's leaking, it's going out somewhere. So one of those is savings. Obviously, it's money that you're earning through the resource market, but you're not spending in the product market. So the savings, any savings that you have, is a leakage. If you take out the government's role and you're just looking at that outside circle, then taxes is also considered a leakage. How you know or not if the government is being included in like the question is if they say a simple circular flow model. If the AP test says simple circular flow, they're only talking about those outside transactions, not the government that's in the middle. And then another leakage is if you buy an imported good. So if like I buy a Toyota, that is money that's leaving my circular flow market and going to another circular flow market, a foreign circular flow market. So that's a leakage. So the top three leakages are savings, probably the biggest one, taxes, and then imported goods. An injection is just the opposite. It's money that is injected from an outside source. So maybe it's money that you're earning, but not from your job, or maybe it's money that you are uh, spending, like money that's coming in from an outside that you didn't earn or something like that. Okay, so it's basically the opposite of all those things. So if an import was a leakage, then an exported good is going to be an injection. So if we export like a Ford to like Mexico or something, we're going to receive money from Mexico for that product, for that Ford. And so that's money coming from an outside source coming into our circular flow. Um, the opposite of tax would be all those things that we get from the government, like whether it be public works or whether it could be a subsidy. They talked about that in the video yesterday. And then hopefully we were going to make a whole discussion about what the opposite of a savings is. So, but here's a shortened version. We're assuming that we're saving money into a bank. Most people save money in a bank. Yes, I know people save their money in like piggy banks or whatever, but like let's say most savings are in the bank. So what does a bank do with it? Well, essentially, they're going to loan it out. Like that's how they get money to loan out. They might loan it out to businesses so they can take out a loan to buy like capital goods, like a pizza oven. They can loan it out to people. But either way, your savings goes in a bank, so it leaks out, but then it gets injected back in as a loan. It's, notice how the banking system is nowhere in that circular flow model. That's how simple that circular flow model is. It completely ignores the fact that we have like a financial system. So the opposite of savings is going to be a loan because you save your money in a bank and it gets leaked out. But if you save your money in a bank, it can be injected back in again as a loan. That's a problem with saving money in like a piggy bank or something, is because it only stays leakage. It doesn't ever get to be injected back in because you're not saving it in a bank. So that's why the banking system is good, because it allows leakages to turn back into injections. Anyway, that was just a quick, hopefully, it was actually longer than I thought it was going to be, introduction to what a leakage and an injection is and the circular flow model. After this, you need to be watching that GDP video. I don't know how far I get in that video, but new page for that GDP notes, because technically we are now, after this video right here, we are now starting unit 2. So now we're in the new section of our binder, unit 2, which is called economic indicators, and one of those being GDP. So we're now starting on the new section. I know already I missed an entire unit. Fantastic. So have a great day, guys. I will see you guys later.